This is the moment Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was sentenced to 19 more years in prison on Friday. Russian President Vladimir Putin's fiercest domestic critic appeared to laugh as the sentence was announced, saying earlier that he expected as much. Navalny is already serving 11 and a half years for alleged fraud and other charges, which he says are bogus. Navalny and his supporters said the criminal case against him had been trumped up to keep him behind bars and out of politics for even longer. Navalny smiled occasionally along with his lawyers as they listened to the judge, who is practically impossible to hear due to the poor quality of the audio feed at his penal colony. Journalists were not let into the courtroom, but were able to watch the proceedings on a video feed, which was cut almost as soon as the sentence was announced. Friday brought to a close his trial on 6 separate charges, including inciting and financing extremist activity and creating an extremist organization. The former blogger, lawyer, and corruption investigator has cast himself as a political martyr, whose aim is to demonstrate to Russians that it is possible to resist Putin, albeit at great cost. In a social media post on Thursday, Navalny predicted he would get a long jail term. The purpose, he said, was to frighten Russians. But he urged his fellow citizens not to be intimidated and to think hard about how best to resist what he called the villains and thieves in the Kremlin. The Kremlin has tried to portray him as politically irrelevant, and Putin makes a point of never speaking his name. The Kremlin denies involvement in Navalny's case and says his case is purely a matter for the courts.